Key people and who must be involved. Let's talk about the people behind your Chinese company. In China, you will need to appoint several key roles. Here is what each of them means and how to choose the right ones. First, owner, UBO, shareholder, or gudong. Not technically a role, but one of the most important figures for banks and government. The owner can be a person or a company, Chinese or foreign, but one individual can't fully own two Chinese companies. You can be only 100% owner in one and minority in others. To register, the shareholder must prepare and legalize documents. If it's a person, notarized and legalized passport copy. If it's a company, business license, company charter, board resolution, and company seal. Different local officers, when registration, may ask for slightly different documents, so it is smart to have a company seal available in China to avoid delays when registration. Doing these corporate documents in some countries might take a while. Because of all this, we usually recommend keep it simple. Use an individual shareholder unless your structure really needs a holding company. One last thing. By law, owners can be liable within the registered capital, but in cases of serious violation, they can be held personally responsible. Second, legal representative, 法定代表人. This is an official face of your company. They can sign contracts, open bank accounts, represent the company in court, and carry full legal responsibility. It can be a foreigner or Chinese citizen living in and outside of China. But here is the thing. If they live in China, life is easier. If they are Chinese national, even better, especially for communications with authorities and banks. If they live abroad, they will sometimes need to travel to China for key procedures. Legal rep might be, but doesn't have to be, a shareholder. Usually this role is also combined with executive director, general manager, or at least one of the other directors that you have. So it can be you, your partner, or a hired manager. If you are the owner and you are from high-risk country, consider a Chinese citizen as a legal rep. That might be your only chance to get a Chinese bank account. We will talk about this in bank section, part 7. You can change the legal rep later, but it's a formal process, not instant, may take 1 to 2 months. 3. Executive Director, 执行董事, or Chairman of the Board, 董事长. In China, you choose to settle one executive director or a board of directors with a chairman. Most SMEs go with a single director, simpler, faster. Corporations set a board with a chairman. This person is the one who actually runs your business in China. In many companies, they're also the legal rep and general manager. Choose someone who understands China. No requirements about nationality, but ideally they speak your language, so you can communicate easily. Knows how to manage a Chinese team. In large companies, the executive director may appoint a separate general manager to run daily operations. 4. Supervisor, 监事. This is a special Chinese requirement. The supervisor doesn't work for the company. They work for shareholders. They watch over management and check that everything is legal and proper. So they must be a different person from the legal rep and director, can be a foreigner or a Chinese, can live inside or outside China, and in small businesses this role is mostly formal. So from 2024, this becomes optional. You can skip it unless it makes sense for you. It usually makes sense for large companies. In fact, for corporations, one supervisor may not be enough, so they create a supervisory board with a chairman. 5. Financial officer, tax content, 财务负责人. This is a person who manages accounting, talks to Chinese bureau, and is listed in the system for financial matters. Usually this is your accountant or someone from accounting firm if you outsource it. Requirements: must live in China. Most cities require a Chinese citizen because the system doesn't accept foreign names, and the tax bureau may want to speak with them, so don't list a random name. All in all, your minimum team for a company in China is Legal rep also acts as an executive and general manager, recommended but not required to live in China, and then can be you as an owner. And financial officer must live in China and may be outsourced. Other roles like supervisor, general manager are optional and depend on your business needs. Next relevant question. Do these people need to be paid? Executive director and general manager usually yes, if they work full-time. Legal rep usually yes, since it is often the same person as one of the above. Financial officer not directly, because you pay to the accounting firm. And supervisor usually not. For new companies, you are allowed not to pay a salary to these people at first. This means you don't need to think about their visas or work permits if they are foreigners. And now about visas. What is important here? If one of these roles is a foreigner living in China, they must have a Chinese working visa to get paid legally. If they are foreigners living outside China, then theoretically you can pay them via a service agreement. But keep in mind, it is a very uncommon practice. Paying internationally for services, both to individuals or companies, is taxed and very bureaucratic. Usually only big Chinese corporations can afford that. That's why most Chinese founders hire only local staff in China and use Hong Kong entity to pay foreign contractors. And the last one, hiring foreign staff in China. If you open Ltd and you want to bring your foreign employees into China, then unofficial rule, 1 foreign employee per 3 Chinese staff. Second, minimum salary applies. Your agent can tell you the local number, and they will need a work visa and residence permit. We will cover visas more in part 11. Final thoughts. Choosing the right people may seem cliched, but trust me, in practice, from what I've seen, lack of capable people is the main reason why Chinese setups don't work properly. Because what? You want them to be native to a country, it makes trust easier, and there are very few of them who can understand Chinese. So take it seriously. In the next video, we will look at reporting and licenses. What do you need to file? To whom? How often? What industries? Why do you need a Chunayuan? What kind of licenses do you need? What inspections you will have? And what mistakes can get you into trouble? Subscribe to stay updated, and let's keep going.